Welcome back, Room 230, to math lesson number 2 for this week. The last time we were talking about how we can use what we know about hundreds, tens, and ones to add and subtract large numbers. If you remember, I've been trying to put together a paperclip chain all the way to 1,000, but it keeps breaking. So I'm putting a 100 on each. I'm labeling each 100th paper clip. So this is just a short little section of what I've been doing. And yesterday or a day before, whenever you watch this, we figured out, well, if this is 100, then that means this one down here is 105. And then if we go backwards, 199, 98, 97, then this one right here is number 97. So we can use what we know about hundreds, tens, and ones to add and subtract large numbers. We're going to keep working on that today. But before we get started, I thought we could warm our brains up with a choral count. And we could start thinking about big numbers by thinking about hundreds. Let's count by hundreds today. And let's start at 120. If we were going to count by 100s, what would the next number be? 120 plus 100 would be, that's right, 220. And then what would be the next one after that? 120, 220 would be 320. Good. I think you've got the hang of this. So let's see if we can get up to 1,000 counting by 100s. Ready? Begin. 120, 220, 320, 420, 520, 620, 720, 820, 920. That's right, 1,020. And we write that with a 1, a 0, a 2, and a 0. 1,020. Excellent job. Will you take a moment to just look at this, and what patterns do you see? Turn and tell the person next to you, what patterns do you notice? I'm hearing a lot of you say that you are seeing that every number ends in 20. We have a 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, 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 and here. Every single number ends in a 20. That makes me feel curious. I wonder if we kept counting, would we ever land on this number, 1,540? I hear a lot of you telling me, no, Miss Deeds, obviously not. Well, how come it's obvious? Clue me in. Oh, I see. Because it ends in a 40. It does not end in 20. All of our numbers end in a 20. This one ends in a 40. We're not changing the tens place when we count, are we? The tens place is always going to stay the same. It's always going to be 20. What is changing when we count? That's right, we're counting by hundreds, so the hundreds place is changing. And that's the other pattern you guys are noticing, isn't it? You're seeing that we go from 100 to 200, from 200 to 300, 4, 5, 600, 700, 800, 900. What is this? 1,000? Yeah, actually some people do call it that because 1,000s do make 1,000. So actually what we have here is 1,000, 0 tens and 20, or 1,000, 0 100s and 2 tens. And 0 ones. This number is 1,020. So with each jump, we're jumping 100. And then we make another jump, and it's another 100. And then we make another jump, and it's another 100. And we just kept adding 100 every time. But now I feel a little bit confused because now we have 1,000 here. So are we going to switch over and start jumping by 1,000, or are we going to keep jumping by 100? That's right, we're going to stay with the pattern and keep jumping by 100. So my question is, what is this number going to be? And what is this number going to be? Can you stop and think about that for a moment? What's the next number going to be? And the number after that? All right, I'm hearing a lot of different ideas about what this is going to be. The only way to find out for sure is to count it. So let's do that. All right, let's start at the beginning and see if we can find out what this place is, what this number and this number is going to be. Ready? Begin. 1,000. Oh gosh, I'm making all kinds of mistakes today. This isn't 1,000, this is 100. Okay, let's start over. Ready? Begin. 120, 220, 320, 420, 520, 620, 720, 820, 920, 1,020, 1,120, 1,220. Oh, did that feel tricky to you? That was a little bit hard, wasn't it? Because we're not used to counting above 100. Or above 1,000, I mean. Did our pattern hold? Does it still end in 20? Yes, it does. Is the hundreds place still going up by 100? Here's our hundreds place, here's our hundreds place. Yeah, it went from 0 hundreds to 100 to 200. So we're still adding 100. And then the question about whether or not we were going to change the thousands place. Did the thousands place get changed? No, it's still 1,000. If we kept going and counted and counted and counted, would the thousands place ever change? Would we ever get to like the next 1,000 to 2,000? Yes, you're right. Eventually we would, and we would have to switch it over to 2,000. But for this row, it stayed the same. All right, my whiteboard is not big enough for us to get to 2,000, so I guess we'll stop here. I have something else I want to do with you anyways. So we are thinking about how we can use what we know about hundreds, tens, and ones to add and subtract large numbers. We can also use what we know about counting by hundreds and by tens to add large numbers. Let's think about this. If I have the number 120, like what we were just counting with, and I wanted to add 200, what would that number be? If I had used a number line to help me, I could make jumps of 100, couldn't I? How many hundreds do I need to jump? Yep, 2 hundreds. 100, 200. And where do I land here? 120 plus 100 is 220. 220 plus 100 is 320. So what is the answer to 120 plus 200? 320. Excellent. All right. What if I wanted to do 120 minus 20? Which direction would I go on the number line? Yeah, now I'm going to be going backwards on the number line because the numbers are going to get smaller. And I can use what I know about counting by hundreds and tens to solve this, can't I? Because here I'm going to be counting by what? Tens, because I have 2 tens here. So I'm going to go backwards 2 tens. Minus 10, minus 10. What's 120 minus 10? So now we are changing the tens place because we're counting by tens. We're no longer counting by hundreds. Yes, you're right. It is 110. And then what is 110 minus 100? Yes, 100. So 120 minus 20 is the same thing as 100. Excellent work. Do you see how knowing how to count by hundreds and tens backwards and forwards can really help you when you're adding and subtracting big numbers? Okay, so what I want you guys working on now is The last time I saw you, you did this page with the broken paperclip chain. And you figured out what the different paper clips were. And you did some adding and subtracting too. Today, we are going to do 4 pages. We're going to do pages 76, 77, 78, and 79. And we're going to imagine that I finished my paperclip chain. Imagine that you are looking at a chain of 1,000 paper clips from the top of a very high tree. So not only are you going to have to imagine that I finished my 1,000 paperclip chain, you now have to imagine that you climbed to the very top of a tree and you're looking down at my 1,000 paper clips. And you can see the labels on the chains, but you can't really see the paper clips because they're too tiny from way up high. So here it is, laid out. And you now need to fill in the missing numbers on these chains. So let's count it and figure out what this missing number should be. 0, 100, 200, 400. What number goes here? That's right, 300. Okay, but be careful because I don't think every single chain is going to be the same. So watch out. Well, for instance, look at this one. Are we counting by 100s here? 0, 200, 400, 800. What are we counting by here? Yeah, we're counting by 200s. 200, 400, 600. Good. Now, let's think about this one. 200, 250, 350, What is this one counting by? What's changing? I see that it goes from 0 tens to 5 tens, and then there's a missing number, and then 5 tens again. What are we counting by here? If you're saying that we're counting by 50s, you are right. So you're going to need to figure out what is the missing number here and what is the missing number here. And then you're going to keep going and finish these paperclip chains. Number 2. Now imagine that your friend is down on the ground counting the paper clips in the chain. Right now, he is at paperclip number 125. Fill in the boxes to below to show where he would be if he counted 100 more paper clips. So if he was at 125, he counted 100 more, where would he be? That's the same thing as saying 125 plus 100. And then you're going to put the answer here. Up here, it's more of the same thing. He counted 300 more paper clips. So if he's at 125 and he's going to add on 300 more, where is he now? Uh-oh, don't get fooled, because here, now we're going backwards, because it's going to be less. He counted back 10 paper clips. 125 minus 10 is what this is asking. So you're going to figure out, was 125, go back 10, and what did he land on? He counted back 25 paper clips. What did he land on? Now if your friend is at paperclip number 305, 100 more, 10 more, then another 10 more. Here's a picture of a paperclip chain from 0 to 1,000, and you need to fill in all the missing numbers. And then we're going to move on to the next 2 pages. Here is a picture of a paperclip chain from 0 to 1,000. Write the numbers 500, 800, and 100 in the boxes where they belong. Now this reminds us of the game we used to play during Number Corner called Guess My Number. So where would we put 500? Does it belong here, right next to the 100? Does it belong here, right next to the 1,000, or does it go in the middle? And then you would need to figure out, where does 800 go and where does 100 go? Here is a picture of a paperclip chain from 400 to 1,000. Write the numbers 900, 700, 800, and 500 in the boxes where they belong. Mark and label each of the number lines below with the numbers listed in the box. So you're doing the same thing as up here, but they haven't provided the boxes for you now. So you're going to have to figure out where you're going to put your boxes. Like I think that it goes 200 to 400, so I think 300 is going to go right in the middle. So I'm going to put 300 there. And now I need to figure out, where does 250 go and where does 350 go? Same thing with this one. You're going to put these three numbers in between 200 and 300. Where do they go? And then your challenge problem is fill in the missing numbers on the number line below. 500 plus and then 600. So what goes here? 700 to 900, 949 to 999. All right, so that today's assignment is longer than yesterday's. So if it takes you more than one day to finish it, that's okay. You could do 2 pages today and 2 pages tomorrow if you like. But same thing, I want you to show me your work by asking your parent to use their smartphone and take a picture of each page and then text or email me the results. All right. Also, please remember to be getting on iExcel and practicing your math facts for 30 minutes a day so that you can be 3rd grade ready. All right, take care, and I will see you for another math lesson next week. Bye-bye.